Welcome to Point Blank, brought to you by Fitz Roofing. I'm Brandon Strange of Sports Map Houston. He's Joel Blank of ESPN 97.5 and 92.5 in Houston. If you haven't yet, please hit subscribe on the channel. We do appreciate the support. Joel, welcome in. I want to talk to you about all these Astros moves that happened this week. Obviously, the fans and media were real concerned about the state of the bullpen coming up towards the trade deadline. And in the week, we've seen James Click make two substantial moves to kind of help solidify that bullpen. We saw first the Kendall Graveman trade, and now we've seen Yimi Garcia. So essentially now they have three closers. How do you think they're going to use these guys in the bullpen, and how much of a difference do you think this will make?
I think it's a night and day difference, Brandon, first and foremost, and I think it's on a lot of different fronts. We knew that their farm system was basically depleted compared to a lot of the contending teams trying to make moves. So they couldn't really afford, if they were going to even make one big move, to give up a lot of prospects because they might not have any to make any other moves, and we knew that more than one move was probably necessary. The fact that you added two closers to one of the most effective closers in baseball in Ryan Pressly now completely changes the complexion of your bullpen, because now it doesn't matter who closes on any given night. But going back to the heyday of the Astros from 17 to 19, when you had Osuna in the 9th and Pressly in the 8th and Will Harris in the 7th, it completely shortened the game. And on top of that, the moves that were made by James Click were also moves that basically cut their bullpen ERA in half. You take three closers, and it doesn't matter, as I said, any order you use them, but you use all three effectively, and therefore you limit the amount of time you have to see some of the guys you have left in your bullpen with higher ERAs. And most importantly, Brandon, what was given up was hardly anything compared to what was feared to have to be given up to get the kind of guys they were targeting. You got closers from two other teams, and in the first move, you didn't have to tap into your farm system at all. And in the second move, you took a 24-year-old outfielder that wasn't one of your top 30 prospects, and you turned him into a closer from another team that's going to buy you at least one inning in every single game you want to use him in. They were fantastic moves by Click, and I couldn't applaud him more.
You're exactly right. They still have bullets left in the chamber to make more deals. I'm going to get your opinion on whether you think there's more deals coming. But before we talk about those deals, talk about the deals that Fitz Roofing can hook up Houston with.
Yeah, Fitz Roofing is great. They do roof repair and new roofs on both your business or your home. But more so what people don't know is they also do home repairs. They can put a fence in your yard. They do so many other things. And all it takes is checking fitzroofing.com, or better yet, call them 832-521-3001. They'll come to you and do a free, no obligation inspection that costs you nothing, and all it is them telling you what they can do and how much it's going to cost. Check them out today. It's Fitz Roofing, making a difference, one home at a time.
So Joel, you said it, two closers acquired, no big bullets fired yet as far as the farm system goes. So they still have ammo to make more deals. We've seen their names connected to not only pitchers, but position players. Byron Buxton being one, for example. We saw them connected to Sterling Marte. Obviously, he's off the market now. Do you think James Click is done, and do you think maybe we could see another pitcher, or do you think maybe there is a position player in the works?
I think it's possible, Brandon, but I don't think it's probable, and I don't think it's necessary. I think the bullpen now is solidified, and you're good there, and that was your biggest, really your only major area of need. Now, in terms of center field, Myles Straw has been up and down all year, started very slowly, had a hot streak, kind of has cooled off again. But you have to make a decision. How much are you willing to give up to push Myles Straw to the bench and put an extra bat in that lineup? Because what we're forgetting is that with Alex Bregman back and Aledmus Diaz back, that not only made Toro expendable, but it puts two really good bats back within Dusty Baker's arm's reach on a nightly basis. The bottom of the lineup, Maldonado's not going anywhere because defensively he's too valuable. The only other up and down bat you have is Straw, and if you can live with the fact that sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down, the lineup is too good to be tinkering with, and the farm system too depleted to be pulling too many guys out of, especially there's about 4 or 5 untouchable guys that the Cubs supposedly had to have in order to get Craig Kimbrell, which now you don't need. I think that starting pitching-wise, Scherzer finally came out and said he didn't want to come to Houston with his no-trade clause, so that's one guy you scratch off the list. It would have to be a bona fide ace-type starter in order to be a kind of guy that the Astros would even consider giving up one of their top prospects for. That's why I'm sure it's fun to be hopeful between now and the deadline, but I wouldn't expect too much more because I think this team now is too good to tinker with too much.